Good evening and welcome back to our news. Mental health issues are becoming a growing concern in Malaysia as recent statistics shows a worrying increase in cases across all age of groups. Experts warn that this trend could continue if the root causes are not properly addressed. To find out more about the situation, let's go to Amira Sofia, who is reporting live from Hospital Bahagia.
Thank you, Marsa. I'm reporting live from Hospital Bahagia, where doctors have observed a steady rise in patients seeking treatment for mental health issues. According to recent statistics from the Ministry of Health, 1 in 3 Malaysians has experienced some form of mental health problem. Experts believe this rise is caused by factors such as financial pressure, academic demands, unstable job, and relationship issues. Many people still hesitate to seek help because of stigma and fear of being judged. Experts say that if these negative perceptions continue, the number of mental health cases will likely keep rising. They emphasize that early intervention of emotional support from family, friends, and the community are key to preventing the problem from becoming more serious. Reporting live from Hospital Bahagia, this is Amira Sofia, our news. Hospital Bahagia, where doctors have observed a steady rise in patients seeking treatment for mental health.
This is really concerning. According to the news, the number of cases has been increasing over the years. It is said that this has been happening more frequently lately due to myriad factors. Do you know why it is happening?
In my opinion, mental health is strongly influenced by what happens inside our minds, which is psychological factor. This factor shapes how we think, how we feel, and how we respond to the world around us. When they are not balanced, they can lead to anxiety, stress, or even depression. One major psychological factor is stress. It usually happens when we face pressure that feels greater than what we can handle, like dealing with academic demands, family expectations, or personal challenges. Our mind starts to feel overloaded, and when that pressure continues for far too long, it affects our emotions, focus, and motivations. Mm, Another important factor is self-esteem. Low self-esteem usually happens when people keep comparing themselves to others or think badly about themselves. It can also come from the past experiences when they are judged or not appreciated. When this kind of low self-esteem continue to happen, they start to lose confidence and see themselves in a negative way, which makes their mind even weaker. Lastly, negative thinking. Lastly, negative thinking pattern are another cause. When someone always expects the worst or focuses only their mistakes, their brain starts to believe those thoughts, and over time, it creates a cycle of worry and sadness. So, psychological factors don't just appear suddenly. They build up on how we think and how we handle our experiences. Mental health problems don't appear because we want them to. No one chooses to be stressed, anxious, or weak. It happens when the mind becomes too tired to handle everything alone. That's why it's so important to manage stress. And taking small steps to care for our mental health can make a big difference in how we live and feel every day. That's from my personal opinion. How about you?
I'm so agree with you. But in my other opinion, one of the main reason that happen is due to our social and environmental surroundings. Mental health is not only affected by biological factors, but also by the social and environmental condition around us. When a person lives in a stressful situation, for example, in poverty, unsafe conditions, or noisy and crowded places, it can affect their emotions and cause long-term stress. A lack of access to basic needs, such as healthcare or education, can also add pressure and negatively impact mental well-being. In addition, social factors like family relationship, friendship, and community support play an important role. When someone experiences family conflict, bullying or feels excluded, they may start to feel sad, anxious, or lose confidence. Social pressure to meet certain expectations, such as academic or career success, can also lead to emotional strain. In conclusion, mental health is strongly influenced by our surroundings and social connections. When we live in a positive, supportive environment, we are more emotionally resilient and better able to face life's challenges. So that is my other opinion.
That's a great insight from you.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
Oh,
Eh,
You got problem.
Amira. Hi.
Hi Suraya, hi Marsa.
Hi.
What both of you doing here?
We are talking about mental illness issue in Malaysia. Have you heard about it?
Yes, I've heard about it.
currently we are discussing the factors that contribute to mental illnesses. Suraya has shared about the social factors, while I have talked about the psychological ones. Do you mind to share some of your opinions on this topic?
Sure, can. Oh, so you're talking about mental health. That's really interesting. Mind if I sit first?
Yes. Your pleasure.
Oh, I actually just read that mental health problems can also be caused by biological factors. You know, it's not always because of stress or personal problems. Sometimes it comes from something inside our body. It's related to things like our genes, hormones, or even how our brain works. For example, some people might have depression or anxiety because it runs in their family. If their parents or relatives have the same issue, they might experience it too. It's something we can really control because it's part of our body. I remember reading a study from the National Institute of Mental Health, and it mentioned that people who have family members with mental health illness are more likely to face similar problems. So it really shows that genetics and biology play a strong role in our mental health. Another big reason is brain chemistry. Our brain uses chemicals called neurotransmitters. Do you know about neurotransmitters?
No.
Okay, so it's like serotonin and dopamine to send message. When these chemicals are not balanced, it can affect how we feel or behave. For example, when serotonin levels are too low, someone might feel depressed or anxious. And if dopamine levels are off, it can lead to problems like addiction or even schizophrenia.
Oh.
So yeah, biological factors really play a big part in mental health. That's why we shouldn't judge people who are struggling because it's not about being weak. It's a real health condition, and what they need most is support and understanding. So that is my opinion lah.
I agree with you.
Such as amazing opinion and discussion.
Thank you.
It's getting kind of hot in here. We should probably head back to class. Sure. Let's go.
You know, I think everyone has had days when they just don't feel okay, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just wake up and everything just feels heavy. That's actually part of mental health. But when it gets worse, it can really affect how we live, how we think, sleep, study, and even how we talk to each others.
Yeah, that's true. Mental health issues can change a person's whole life. When someone is struggling with stress, anxiety, or depression, it can affect how they think, feel, and behave. They might feel sad or hopeless and even lose interest in things that they are enjoy too. It's like the spark in them just fades a little.
Oh, that's really sad. And I guess when people start feeling that way, they sometimes pull away from others, right? They just don't feel like talking at all.
Yeah, exactly. They might avoid friends or family because they feel embarrassed or think no one will understand them. But the more they isolate themselves, the lonelier and more stressed they become. It's a really tough cycle.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop there. Poor mental health affects the body too, like trouble sleeping, no appetite, or always feeling tired. When your mind isn't okay, your body starts to suffer too. That's why people lose focus in class or perform badly at work.
Yeah, right.
Right. And when your mental health isn't stable, it's hard to connect with others. For example, people with anxiety might avoid talking in groups or going to events because they're afraid of being judged.
True, and someone with depression might stop replying to message or ignore calls, not because they don't care. They just don't have the energy. I've seen that happen to people before and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and sometimes others think they are being rude, but really, they are just tired inside. When communication breaks down, it causes misunderstandings or even fights. But if our mental health is good, we can express ourselves better and maintain healthy relationships.
Exactly. Taking care of your mental health isn't just about feeling happy inside. It's about keeping your relationship strong too. We all need people around us to stay grounded and supported.
And let's not forget the financial side. Mental health issues can affect someone's economy. If a person can't focus or work properly, their productivity drops. Some might even lose their jobs or need time off.
Yeah, and therapy or counseling can be expensive. That adds more stress, especially for people who are already struggling financially. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, mental health affects everything: our emotions, our relationships, our studies, and even our money.
Exactly. That's why we need to take it seriously. Taking care of your mental well-being is not selfish. It's necessary.
Um, I totally agree with you. Like mental health is just as important as physical health. When we take care of our mind, everything else falls into place. Most of the people usually focus on their physical health but forget about their mental health.
Yes, I'm totally agree with you.
So Suraya and Marsal, do you know that mental illnesses are actually really hard to recognize? It's not something that you can just see with your eyes.
True, but there are actually a lot of symptoms that can help us notice them if we pay attention. For example,
Finally, class is over. I swear my head is about to explode from this lecture.
same here. I don't even know how to finish the assignment due next week.
Next week, seriously?
You guys don't worry too much. We will be fine. I have do my assignment yesterday.
Wow,
Oh
Suraya,
my god.
you are always so prepared. I wish I had your motivation and energy.
Energy? I think it's just a coffee.
Maybe too much pressure? You've been up late a lot lately, right?
Oh no, it's nothing. I just like to study at night when it's quiet. Everything's fine, really. IPG life's been great. I love the activity, the lecture, and everything.
That's good to hear, but are you sure? Are you okay, Suraya?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just maybe not enough sleep. You know how it is.
Okay, well, if you say so, then that's great. Hmm, let's go to the cafe. I'm so hungry.
Let's go.
Oh, both of you just go first. I already eaten and I want to continue my assignment. Sorry.
Okay.
Enjoy.
You go first. Bye.
All right, bye.
Take care.
All right. Everyone thinks I'm hardworking, that I love studying, but the truth is, I can't even focus anymore. Every page feels heavier than the last. Sometimes I just stare at the words and they blur together. I keep telling myself to try harder, to keep going, but deep inside, I don't even know what I'm trying for anymore. It's like
there's this voice in my head always saying I'm not good enough, that I will never be. I hate pretending, smiling when all I want is to disappear, laughing when I can barely breathe. I wish I could join them, but every time I try, something inside me freezes, like I don't belong anywhere. Sometimes I wonder if anyone will even notice if I stop trying, if I just stop. Maybe I'm just tired of fighting a battle no one can see. Maybe I just want the noise inside my head to stop. I wish someone could hear me before it's too late.
Nowadays, people are becoming more aware of how important mental health really is. Many are starting to understand that taking care of our mind is just as important as taking care of our body. Society is also becoming more open and supportive. Instead of judging, people now encourage others to talk about their feelings or get professional help if needed. Schools, workplaces, and even social media campaigns are promoting mental well-being and self-care. Celebrities and influencers also share their own experiences, which helps others feel less alone. It's nice to see that the world is slowly changing. People are learning that caring for your mental health is not weakness, but a sign of strength. Meanwhile, for negative feedback, we go to negative outside feedbacks. Even though nowadays people are more open about mental health, there are still many negative views around it. Some people still think that mental health problems are just a sign of weakness or something that can be easily controlled. Because of that, does who struggle often feel ashamed or afraid to ask for help? In some communities, talking about emotions is still seen as something unnecessary or even embarrassing. The media can also make things worse by showing mental illness in a negative or dramatic way. These kinds of attitudes create stigma, and that stigma makes people hide their struggles instead of facing them. Sadly, this stops many from getting the help and support they truly need. Just that from us. Thank you.
Okay, so to sum up, mental health is affected by many factors like
Jangan start je.
kenapa macam ni?
Start dulu.
So, to sum up, mental health is influenced by many factors like social, psychological, and biological, as what we discussed before. When one of these aspects is disturbed, it can affect how we think, feel, and behave in our daily lives. That's why awareness, support, and understanding are so important in helping people stay mentally strong and healthy. For example, when we start seeing mental health as equally important as physical health, we learn to treat others with more sympathy, more empathy. Sometimes even small gesture like asking how someone is doing, listening to someone without judging, or offering kind words can make a big difference. I also believe that early awareness play a huge role. If we talk about mental health more openly, especially in school or families, people won't feel ashamed to express how they feel. When young people grow up learning that it's okay to not be okay, sometimes they feel it easier to reach out and get help. In fact, awareness is the first step towards healing because before we can fix a problem, we must recognize it first. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, Amira. Having a mental illness doesn't mean someone is weak or flawed. It's something that can happen to anyone, just like any other illness. Um, people won't go. People who go through it shouldn't be told to just get over it. They need time, understanding, and sometimes professional help. One effective solution is to include mental health education in schools and workplaces. When people know how to recognize signs of stress, they can seek help before things get worse. And if more people are educated about it, the stigma will slowly fade away. People will start to see mental health issues as something normal and treatable.
That's very true, Marsa. To me, mental health is really about balance. Balance between work and rest, between being strong and allowing yourself to feel. When we live in a healthy environment and have the right support, it becomes easier to stay positive and motivated. One important solution is building strong social connections. We need to create safe spaces where people feel comfortable sharing their feelings without fear and being judged. For instance, schools and communities can organize awareness campaigns, counseling sessions, or peer support groups. These platforms can encourage people to speak up and reach out for help early.
Yes, and I think the media also plays a big role. Sometimes the way mental health is shown in movies or the famous one we can call K-drama or social media can be misleading or exaggerated. We should promote more positive and realistic messages, showing that asking for help is a sign of courage, not weakness. Maybe we can have short videos or social media campaigns that feature real stories of people who overcome their struggles. Hearing real voice can make others feel less alone and more hopeful about recovery.
Yeah, that's true.
I really like that idea. Besides, we can also focus on simple daily habits that improve mental health, like getting enough sleep, exercising regularly, eating balanced meals, and taking short breaks from screens. These small steps can make a big difference in maintaining emotional stability. And most importantly, we should learn to manage stress in healthy ways through mindfulness, prayer, journaling, or simply talking to someone we trust.
Exactly. Everyone has a role to play. Teacher, parents, friends, and even employers. If all of us show more compassion and patience, it will be easier for those who are struggling to open up and get the help they need. In the end, mental health is not just a personal matter. It is a shared responsibility. When we care for one another, listen more, and create a supportive environment, we help build a society that values emotional well-being as much as success and achievement.
Well said, Suraya. Let's remember that good mental health doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means being able to handle challenges in a healthy way. When we raise awareness, support each other, and spread kindness, we take one step closer to a mentally stronger and healthier community for everyone.
Yeah, that's
At the
true.
end of the day, taking care of our mind is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Because when our mind is healthy, everything else in our life becomes clearer and easier to handle.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
So that's sum up our discussion, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
okay.
totally agree with both of you, and our discussion is so amazing.
And I hope that it can reach to people and help someone who is struggling with mental illness.
Yeah, I hope to. Okay,
Thank you,
thank
everyone.
you.
That's all from us.
Thank you for watching. Bye.